Sometimes, just so you know, and it may be
It's
live right
showing.
now. It may be live right now. So if it is,
Tricky.
yeah, we're going to give it a second, but I think we're live already. So let me drop this down, and there we are.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Monday is here. I'm sure you guys had a great weekend, but this week is going to be a special week for this team, this company. You are having a monster month. If you guys are new to the group, fantastic. I didn't do that before the call. I've been putting a post out every week right before the call starts. And we'll do that right after this call is over, welcoming all the new people in the group. Make sure you're welcoming your new people into this group. I know not everybody's on Facebook, but those that are, make sure they're in this group. And we're excited for this call today. Um, why don't we just jump right into the core values?
Yep. Sounds
good. To start the call off. We say this every week, but these core values really make a difference. They really, really do, because once you understand why we created the core values, then I think you can really get behind it. And every company kind of has a mission statement. And within that mission statement is how that's going to happen. And our core values will work for whatever your mission statement is. We can have a mission statement as a company, as a team, but really, you should know why you're doing this. Like, why we're going to talk about that today a little bit, why you're doing this business. And these core values will help you reach that why, and also beyond. For those that are don't even know about LifeVantage, don't know about sirtuins in NFR, Nerf 1 and Nerf 2. So core value number 3 is what we're on this week. And that is that we look for opportunities to celebrate life and recognize others. We don't just celebrate life and recognize others. We look for those opportunities. We try to find those opportunities. And if you'll do that, man, will that make an impact in what you're trying to accomplish with LifeVantage. It's a big part of our success. Lynette and I, when we got involved with this company, we just never really experienced the kind of gratitude and congratulatory events that were going on. I remember getting phone calls from corporate early, and it was the corporate staff that would be on, just congratulating us for rank advancements. And man, that was a big deal. Like, that was like a wow, like that really just happened type thing. And it made an impact in our business. It gave us a little extra pep in our step. And it helped us believe in what we were doing. And it helped us believe that there were people that believed in us. And that's one of our core values. If you guys will implement this in your teams, where you are looking for ways to celebrate life, and celebrating life, guys, that doesn't have to be LifeVantage related. When you're celebrating life with people, there's all kind of things that you can celebrate with others to make them feel special, and recognizing others for things that they do. That just doesn't happen traditionally outside of this team or this company. And if you can do that, it puts you on a different playing field with your business. And so, in connection with that core value, as Lynette and I were preparing for this call, we started talking about what was going on in the team. We've got a great one for you guys today. So I'm going to turn this over to Lynette, and you guys just sit back and enjoy what you're about to hear. So,
well, there's a lot of reason for celebration. We've got a lot of people who have been making some things happen, but we asked one to be on the call with us today because Chris Laughlin out of Canada has hit the rank of Pro 5, which you guys know that's a pivotal point in your business. That's a big deal. Even corporate recognizes the significance of that, and they have implemented the Pro 5 Summit to kind of help that tier step up into that leadership.
It's not even the end of the month yet. She's hit Pro 5 and we still got 4 days to go.
Right. That's right. And she's got a lot of things happening on her team. Obviously, that's how these things happen. But, you know, in talking to Chris, I asked her, you know, what's different? Why this month? Chris has been with LifeVantage. I wrote in my notes here, March of 2016. Right. March of 2016. So why now, Chris? What made this happen? So Chris, I would love for you to share with everybody the story that you shared with me.
Sure. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you. So I think for me, and when we talked about your core value for this week, it's hard for me to recognize me. It's hard for me to realize that I've reached this rank of Pro 5. I don't feel any different to what I felt last month or last week. I just know now I've got more responsibility and more work to do. But how it happened, I've always sort of said, and we always say, you know, we want to attain another rank. We want to do this other rank. About 6 weeks ago, my daughter in Winnipeg had suggested I look at one of Tony Robbins' videos. And I picked up on it was how you ask the question and then how you answer the question. So I want to be Pro 5. I want to be Pro 5. It's been going on for a while. And so the question was, how? How do I become Pro 5? So the answer myself, because I talk to myself a lot, was I have to help more people. So that was okay. Well, how are you going to help more people? So I knew that the team that we had, because I've already got a fairly good team that's growing. And so it was going back and finding out and looking at what was going to do and helping them more, be available more, do whatever they needed to do. But I also needed to connect with other people myself. So I set up lunches and coffees and the odd dinner here and there. And so, but I always had in my head of how I need to do this, right? So I think it was making that decision at the beginning of the month that this is what I wanted to do, and how I'm going to do it is I need to look at what I've got in place and make it happen. So I had the belief at the beginning of the month. I knew going to convention and that team was going to convention that would make a difference. I knew we were launching a new product. So the excitement or I guess it was the confirmation to know that this was possible. It wasn't just a thing that I was telling myself, that it was actually possible for me to do this. So went to convention, came back, knew that we had a new, phenomenal, incredible product, knew that that was a given. So shared what that was and went through the month to do that. So everyone on the team did their bit, absolutely everyone, mainly because of the new product is what excited people this month. Then we got a new person on our team who is just a go-getter, and she is just on fire. And fortunately, I have Ramona Horsfield as my upline, who was able to step in and help with this woman, this dynamic woman, Wendy. And so that helped, that came into place. So I think knowing that I had the belief, and also Tim Cox helped as well, because he laid it out for me in my back office and said, well, you've got this, this, and this. You do have the structure that you can do this. It's fine saying to yourself, you're going to do this, but there's a whole different attitude when you look at what your structure is and what the possibilities are and where you need to put your place and where you need to put yourself for what you need to do. So I went to work, and within that time, I still believed, but not the excited. And I'm going to say it was thanks to NAD. I didn't have that extra excitement. It was like a quiet calm that this is working. This is going to work this month. So it was absolutely help from everyone on the team, absolute help from upline without a question. New product, absolutely. And my belief that it was possible. And I also put into place, I would have a person on standby to do a 3-way phone call with me if on my dinner I needed that, and if on my lunch I needed that. So I put the steps into place. And what can I say? It's just happened. Like I'm not saying pleasantly surprised. We've worked hard this month. We have worked hard this month. Everyone has. So in that, there's one new Pro 2. We have 2 new Pro 3s and another one before the end of the month and a new Pro 4. And I think one of the things that excites me about this is it's a family business for us, my daughters and my granddaughter. So I'm creating something that is a legacy for our family. And that is at the core of my values, is my family. So yes, the belief absolutely was number one, but you still have to do the work.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, we appreciate so much you sharing that with us, because what I was thinking about as Chris was sharing her story is, you guys, last week we asked Gary Stern to be on the call because his numbers were up so high, and we're like, okay, what do you attribute this to? Started with a decision, but he also talked about, when you have a decision for a goal, you have to have a plan to make that actually happen. That is exactly what Chris just said she did. So you guys, it's a theme. It's not, you know, lurking out there like, how do we make this happen? It's a matter of, first you have to decide. You can do it. You're worth doing it. No one else has more capabilities than you have. It's a decision. I'm going to make this happen. But then how am I going to make it happen? And Chris talked about going into the back office and looking at structure and numbers. You guys, being proactive in your business is essential. We're right up against the end of the month. There are big things that have been happening all month long, but there are big things that are going to happen over the course of the next 3 to 4 days. And it's going to have a lot to do with how proactive you are in looking at your numbers and helping others. What I appreciated so much that Chris shared is she recognized the people on her team who that she could help to attain their goals, but she didn't stop there. She also went out and was doing her own enrollments. She was doing her own coffee appointments and 3-way calls and having her upline on standby to assist with those, following the system, leading by example. And when we lead by example, that's when our organization benefits the most, because we can speak to them on a level that we wouldn't be able to speak to if we weren't actually out there doing it. So Chris, thank you so much for jumping on here with us today. I know that the team benefited greatly, and congratulations for what you're accomplishing. I know there's still plenty more big things to come, but we're excited for you now.
I think she's got something else.
I want to recognize another person who has been working at attaining Pro 3 for quite a few months, Evelyn Barth on the team. She is steadfast and sure for everything that she has done. She's leading our weekly meetings. She's doing all kinds of groundwork, and she hit the level of Pro 3 this month. And that was a goal for her. So that's what makes this so great, is to see the others' accomplishments. So thank you.
Absolutely. You guys, that's why when people get on stage and are able to be recognized at a particular rank, a lot of times you see a few tears shed. It's because of all of the team working towards their goals, attaining their goals, knowing that it's done as a unit, not just one person, which then we have a lot of gratitude for. So anyway.
Yeah, Pro 5 is a big rank. And to be at, a Pro 4, so all the new distributors, Pro 1s, 2, 3s, 4s that are out there, you know the significance of hitting Pro 5. You want to be a Pro 5. And Chris just gave you a little recipe for someone that's been around for a few years, that has probably heard everything she needed to hear, but she heard maybe the same thing she's heard before, told a little different way. This time it happened to be Tony Robbins. It happened to be a video, I think, that she watched that just made it really simple for her. What I love about what I heard from Chris is she's doing personal development. How in the world do you think you're going to rank advance or be a leader if you are not doing personal development? Guys, I can't tell you how important it is. This business, I've been told by many, many 7-figure earners, is just it's a personal development business wrapped up in a network marketing opportunity. That's what we are. We are developing human beings in this business. We're developing ourselves and we're helping others develop. So Chris can take that message that she got from Tony Robbins, and she took it to get to Pro 5. And she can use that same message to get to 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But she can also take that same message and be a better friend, a better mother, a better whatever. She can use that same principle of figuring out what you want and then just asking you the questions of how am I going to do it, right? It's implementing the decisions and then moving forward in those decisions. So that's the first thing I heard. So personal development is key. Besides the fact that she was at Long Beach, that's huge because NAD played into the excitement of this. So guys, you don't have to do anything, but if you want to rank advance, you got to show up to go up. That's just the way it is. If you don't show up, don't plan on going up. All right. And the third thing I heard, guys, is she was working her own personal business. So if you've got one distributor on your team, you now basically have two businesses. You have the business of being a leader for someone or many. That's one business, supporting them, doing three-way calls, doing meetings, but you will always have your personal business. And I don't have, we didn't even have this conversation, but I know without asking, there are people in Chris's holding tank. That means she's got personal enrollments in the last 30 days. I didn't ask her. I would like 99% sure there are people in her holding tank. And so if you're not rank advancing, you might want to start by looking at your holding tank, because the holding tank it's just a big old gauge of what you're personally doing. If no one's in your holding tank and you are a Pro 1, a Pro 2, Pro 3, whatever, your team is watching, okay? And as you're doing your part, other people will do their part. It's follow the leader in so many ways in this business. So Chris, your message was it's an ageless, your message today is really an ageless message. It's making a decision, pouring into yourself, believing in yourself, and then putting a plan into action. It's an ageless message. I'm just glad that you were able to do it this month, so early in the month. I mean, you crushed it. You hit Pro. How many days ago did you hit Pro 5?
Let me see. I think before the 25th run.
Yeah. It was before it was before subscriptions and auto-ship for sure. And so
and that confirmed it. The 25th solidified it.
Nice. So we're so proud of you, and thank you for being on here with us today. We were happy to celebrate your success and recognize what you're doing. That was just awesome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. So guys, we love sharing those stories with you, and I hope you can take that, use that for your personal business, use that as motivation. Let me just say this before we jump onto a couple other things, because she touched on it. The timing of where we sit in this month, we've heard about laser focus. So Chris has become laser focused in her business, and things happened, right? It's really hard to be like laser focused for an extraordinary length of time. But if you can get laser focused, we've heard about 90 days from a lot of leaders before. You've heard about Eric Worre and his 90-day push. Enrolling in bunches is the way it usually happens. It's okay to enroll one at a time because that keeps you in the game. But if you really want to kind of leapfrog to the next level, if you're really looking to break out, you've got to enroll in bunches. There goes that word again. You don't gotta do nothing. Just statistics say you probably should if you want to break out of the rank you're in. Go enroll. We've said, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, go enroll 5 more. We've been hearing that for a long time. If you don't like where you're at, go enroll 5 more and then work with those 5 to see who's going to stick around, right? Guys, get laser focused. I'm not even going to say the next 90 days because that takes us into the next season of our profession. That takes us beyond January 1st. We know the psychology of the seasons of the year with humanity, at least in North America, but in many other cultures, it's the same. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I want you to get laser focused on 2. I'm going to give you 2 time frames. 65 days, because that's the close. We got 65 days left to this year, to this decade. 65 days left to the year, and you've got 4, really 3.5 days left. Well, in Canada, they got 4. In Hawaii, they've got 4. To the end of the month. And that is a ton of time. That is an eternity. 4 days is an eternity. There's people right now that are Pro 1 that can end as Pro 3s in 4 days. There are people right now that are Pro 2s that can end as Pro 5s in 4 days. Chris said a little bit of a story. We don't know all the numbers, but apparently there's someone that joined the team that really added some juice. And I don't know what financially, how many points or volume that was, but it was significant enough. All right. You're not going to find those people unless you've got laser focus. And so let's first do this. Let's first focus on the next 4 days, right? And making a decision. Because if you don't make the decision, the next 4 days is going to be like the last 4 days or the last 4 years of your life. It's the same old. Make a decision and do things differently. Chris did some things differently this month. You need to do some things differently in the next 4 days. If you don't have any enrollments for the month, 0, if there's 0 in your holding tank, just get laser focused for 4 days and do things differently for the next 4 days than you did the last 4, right? 2x, 5x, 10x your invites, 10x your follow-ups, 2x, 5x your presentations. Just go all out for the next 4 days, and you're gonna be really, really happy you did when you see what happens in your organization. That's what we did to hit different ranks. And she was very specific. She said Tim went out and kind of broke up the organization. It's one thing to be busy. It's another thing to be busy for specific, I don't want to say organizations, but just knowing where you need to hit and then being laser focused in those parts of your organization, always with the intent of someone else's rank advance, not your rank advance. So just wanted to share that little bit of what's left to the calendar, I guess, for this month. So that.
Yep. You may move on to the announcements.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So you guys, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind as we near the end of the month. One is we're like at quarter end, right? So there won't be any back dates that take place. So you need to be aware that you need to get your business done. October 31st, the deadline for anything that you need corporate involved in. The call center closes at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. The VIP center, for those who are a little bit higher in rank, closes 7 p.m. Mountain Standard. So if you need some things addressed, don't think I'll just wait till tomorrow, November 1st.
No backdating.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Get your business done. You've been warned far enough in advance. Get it taken care of, okay? The other thing is that October 31st also is the deadline for the room blocks in Cancun. So what does that mean? That means that on October 31st, after beginning November 1st, the resort is giving up those rooms. In other words, as this is a massive resort, like massive. So it's not to say that if you wait until, mid-December that you can't stay at the resort. That's a possibility. I don't know what rate you'll pay, nor do I know what vicinity of the resort you'll be in, because the way that it's been described to me is it's such a big resort, you could be a mile up the road and have to kind of shuttle yourself over, as opposed to the room block that they have set up has us all in one area.
I maybe should do that because I plan on eating and drinking a lot. It's all inclusive. It's all inclusive. So maybe we should get a room way on the other side.
But the point is, that not the majority, but there's a lot to be gained from the socialization that happens when the meeting is not actually going on. So bumping into people in the hallway and having short conversations, having meals, all of those things are what can help give you some of those nuggets that kind of catapult your business. So October 31st is the deadline, you guys. So just know that. I was going to say something else in regards to that, but if by chance the resort were to sell out and you don't even get on the premises and you have to stay off the premises, you will have to pay $150 daily fee to come on the premises to even attend Elite Academy. That's what the venue is collecting, because it's an all-inclusive resort.
It's also the deadline for our incentive.
Our incentive. Okay, you guys, I'm going to post probably midday on October 31st. I'm going to create a post right here in our team group, okay, team Facebook group. And that is for our incentive that we had this month for everyone who participates to win a private call with Taylor Worry. We're going to have whoever participates a call, a Zoom with Taylor Worry to add value into your business. In order,
the only people that will get that link, it will not be a public link.
No.
The only people that get that link are the people who participate.
So in that post, I've created a PDF. You guys, if you didn't see it, go back through the thread. There's a PDF that you can download that just basically is numbered slots for you to track the people that you have sampled NAD to, not who you intend to sample, but who you've actually given samples to. You put their name on the list. By posting a picture of that list in the Facebook post that I'm going to create on the 31st, you will win being a part of that Zoom with Taylor. The people who have the most, the top 3 people who participate, but have the most people that they've reached out to, will get a private Zoom with Taylor. So 45-minute to hour-long Zoom of him pouring into you, those 3 individuals. So I'm going to create that post midday, October 31st. You can start uploading it as soon as you've decided my list is complete. I'm ready to post it in the comments. And I'm going to give you 2 days after that. So the deadline to put that post with your picture is going to be Saturday at midnight. Okay. That'll give us all day Sunday to kind of go through the list and announce on Monday who the top 3 are. Okay. So look for that post midday, October 31st, and participate. Why wouldn't you? We're all working to grow our businesses. So that's the only announcements I have. If there's anything that you have.
LVA, our virtual training is this Saturday. The leaders are putting wraps today and tomorrow on their content. The editing is underway. So this weekend, be looking for Team True Blues virtual training. It's going to be really, really important that you guys take a look at it. It's going to be touching on daily methods of operation, DMOs, helping you as leaders understand how you can set up your own DMOs digitally through Google so that you don't have to have paper everywhere. You guys are going to want to see that training because, I mean, again, it's part of the plan, right? If you don't have a plan, and the saying is that what gets measured gets accomplished. If you're not measuring what's happening and what you're doing for you and your team, not much is going to get accomplished because you just won't know what to change for the future, right? So that's going to be there. We're going to be talking about NAD. We're going to be talking about the different dosing of NAD and what's going on, and some maybe how-tos and best-tos for your team, so that you guys are getting the optimal results out of your sampling, like Lynette was just talking about. A number of things that we're going to have on there, as well as you guys may or may not been hearing some stuff about how to tell your stories in a compliant way. If you haven't heard about how to tell your stories in a compliant way recently, you need to pay attention. There are significant things happening within the profession of network marketing. And Darren, our CEO, is taking a very proactive approach to our future paychecks. That simply means he is very, very concerned, not the right word. Proactive for the stories you're telling and we're telling, specifically in social media where things are recorded forever. It's out there. Specifically in groups, specifically closed or secret groups. It's not really closed or secret. It's really not. And so we need to talk about it as a team. It's important because I want you guys to be proactive as LifeVantage distributors in setting the right example for your teams and the rest of the company. I can promise you that's what we're going to do. We are going to set the standard for the right way to do this, not the wink, wink, the way you can still try to do it, because Darren is very serious about this. And it's another reason why you must, this is a must. If this is a must, if you value your paycheck, you must watch the virtual training this Saturday, because if you're doing things the wrong way, you're putting yourself and your business and LifeVantage in jeopardy. And we're just can't do that, right? We're not going to do that. So make sure you've got scheduled time for the virtual training. If you can't watch it this Saturday, it's recorded for your future use, however you want to implement it in your team, but it's coming this Saturday. So be looking for that. The link will be up on Friday. You guys just get laser focused. You guys, we've said this so many times, you don't know what's possible until the impossible is done. Recently, someone has just run a sub 2-hour marathon, okay? And no one thought that was possible, but it's been done now. It's humanly possible to run a marathon in less than 2 hours. I think I got that right, 2 hours.
That's right.
I'm not a marathoner, just look at me. I'm not a marathoner, but I'm somewhat familiar with the discipline, and it's been done. Guys, don't think that in the next 4 days, amazing things can't happen. Because if you think it can't, you're right, it can't. It's just that simple. If you think it can, it's possible. And what's possible can be done. If you got a plan, just put the plan together. Focus for 4 days. Guys, let me send you out on this quick little message. I got a message today from the other side of the world, okay? From Australia, I got a message this morning. And it was from someone not in our organization, but it's someone that hit Pro 7 in their very first month in the business. And I really don't like telling those stories because people are like, Pro 7 in 4 weeks, right? It's not possible for the average person. It took us 17 months to get to Pro 7 because no team never done this. So obviously this person has done network marketing a long time and has a big team. It was literally some phone calls and some people made some phone calls and literally there was 100,000 points in sales in 4 weeks. That's probably a little potato for this leader, but here's the message to you. She was just grateful for some of the training that she's gotten, but she's unbelievably excited about what she has her hands on with this company and these products. Here's a leader that's been around this profession for, I think, over a decade, who's had massive success, and she can't sleep at night because of what they have their hands on. Are you sleeping too easy is my question, because there are a lot of people like her that don't even know about this yet. I think a lot of us have taken this thing for granted. Guys, this NAD product is just kind of the icing on the cake of what we've been having. This sirtuins is no joke. NAD is no joke. And we've got a product that raises that in the human body. Guys, it is huge what we have. And she doesn't even have NAD in her country. She's just got Nerf 1 and Nerf 2. And I say just, guys, yeah. Nerf 2 is untouchable. It is untouchable. When you realize what you have, it is more than a vehicle to accomplish anything, your why. Whatever your why is, can be accomplished with one product, Nerf 2. Just keep it there. Think about that. And just understand you've got your hands on something huge. What are you going to do with it for the next 4 days or 65 days? It's up to you guys. Go have a great week. Close the month strong. We'll be back here next Monday. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.